All right. It is a beautiful evening. Great time to sit back and read some of the Odyssey and try to make heads or tails out of it. And as you can see, book five is a shorter one, only runs from pages 81 to 95. And I have some notes already because I tried to record this once and Scotty started barking like crazy. So we'll see if this time goes any better. So Dawn came up from the couch of her reclining, leaving her lord Tithonus's brilliant side, with fresh light in her arms for gods and men. So here we have Dawn once again being referred to. And the master of heaven and high thunder, Zeus, went to his place among the gods assembled, hearing Athena tell Odysseus's woe. For she, being vexed that he was still sojourning in the sea chambers of Calypso, said, O Father Zeus, and gods in bliss forever, let no man holding scepter as a king think to be mild or kind or virtuous. Let him be cruel and practice evil ways, for those Odysseus ruled cannot remember the fatherhood and mercy of his reign. So basically, she just said, you guys who are ruling are really cruel because Odysseus hasn't gotten back home yet. So the gods are all assembling again. Athena is complaining. She's saying the men who Odysseus ruled, don't remember him. And this is a terrible thing. She goes on. Meanwhile, he lives and grieves upon that island in thraldom to the nymph. He cannot stir, cannot fare homeward, for no ship is left him fitted with oars, no crewmen or companions to pull him on the broad back of the sea. And now murder is hatched on the high sea against his son, who sought news of his father in the holy lands of Pylus and Lacedaemon. So we find out that Odysseus is still stuck on Calypso's island. Odysseus has no boat and no men. The last time we actually did hear about him, he was leaving Troy and he had a boat and men. So we will definitely have to have a flashback as this tale goes on for us to learn everything that has transpired from Troy until Calypso's island. And then Athena also reiterates that the suitors are planning to murder Telemachus and that this is not a good thing. To this, the summoner of cloud replied, and that summoner of cloud is just another name for Zeus. Watch out for these. The references to the gods and goddesses often have to be decoded. My child, what odd complaints you let escape you. Have you not, you yourself, arranged this matter, as we all know, so that Odysseus will bring these men to book on his return? And are you not the one to give Telemachus a safe route for sailing? Let his enemies encounter no one and row home again. So Zeus is kind of like, hey, we've got this covered. You already went through this, so what are you complaining about? But at the same time now, he's going to speed matters up and make sure things happen. He turned then to his favorite son and said, Hermes, you have much practice on our missions. Go make it known to the softly braided nymph that we, whose will is not subject to error, order Odysseus home. Let him depart. But let him have no company, gods or men, only a raft that he must lash together, and after 20 days worn out at sea, he shall make land upon the garden isle, Scheria, of our kinsmen the Phaeacians. Let these men take him to their hearts in honor, and berth him in a ship, and send him home, with gifts of garments, gold, and bronze. So much he had not counted on from Troy, could he have carried home his share of plunder. His destiny is to see his friends again under his own roof in his father's country. All right, as we read the Odyssey, there is a lot of telling and retelling, so that if you missed it the first time because you had to step out after all your merrymaking and drinking and use the bathroom or something, then you get a recap and know what was going on. So Hermes is being sent. Oh, I should go back to this other slide. Also called the favorite son, and the softly braided nymph is also called Calypso. And so there's a couple requirements as Odysseus sets out. He can have no men or gods aboard. He has to use a raft, not a ship. Use a raft. He's going to be 20 days at sea. He is going to get to Scheria. That's about the way our book does. Scheria, which is the land of the Phaeacians, which is spelled like this in our book, Phaeacians. Oops. Can't type and read it at the same time. Capital P-H, Phaeacians. And those guys, the Phaeacians, are going to send him home with garments, gold, bronze, more than he could have gotten from his battle at Troy. And they are well known to be great traders, so they're going to have a lot of stuff. Will send home with gold, bronze, garments, etc. Lots of spoils. And then he's going to get back home. And this is what Zeus is declaring, so it's got to happen. No words were lost on Hermes the Wayfinder. Okay, now we got another word for Hermes. Because remember, he also leads the souls to the underworld, so Wayfinder. Who bent to tie his beautiful sandals on, ambrosial, golden, that carry him over water or over endless land in a swish of the wind, and took the wand with which he charms sleep, or when he wills awake the eyes of men. So, wand in hand, he paced into the air, shot from Pieria, down to sea level, and veered to skim the swell. A gull patrolling between the wave crests of the desolate sea will dip to catch a fish and douse his wings. No higher above the whitecaps Hermes flew, until the distant island lay ahead. Then rising shoreward from the violet ocean, he stepped up to the cave. All right there we had an epic simile. It was a rather lengthy comparison, and it compared Hermes' journey with a gull catching fish. So if you go back and take a look, that gull is not a real gull that is flying along with Hermes. It is stating that a gull will dip and douse his wings. So Hermes, as he's flying over to Calypso's island, is kind of diving and getting his toes wet, cooling off. He's having fun as he travels along. Okay. This is top of page 83, Divine Calypso. Divine Calypso, the mistress of the island, was now at home. Upon her hearthstone a great fire blazing, scented the farthest shores with cedar smoke, and smoke of thyme, and singing high and low in her sweet voice, before her loom a-weaving, she passed her golden shuttle to and fro. So this is the first time we are encountering Calypso, and there is definitely some olfactory imagery with the thyme and the cedar. And then we see that she is weaving, so she has some skill at the loom, and she is singing. Was she doing anything else? She's got a fire at her hearth, but that's about it. Okay. A deep wood grew outside with summer leaves of alder and black poplar, pungent cypress. Now, those first images were, oh, this is a nice place. There's a fire going. She's singing. She's weaving. Now it's a little more dark and disquieting. These cypress and black poplar are actually trees of the dead. They are found in the land of the dead in Persephone's grove. So suddenly we're alerted, maybe it's not all as beautiful as it seems. And if we go back to Athena's words, what she had said was that he lives and grieves upon the island in thraldom to the nymph. He cannot stir, cannot fare homeward. So it's as if Odysseus is under a spell and is not allowed to leave. Okay, back to Calypso. This is about line 71. Ornate birds here rested their stretched wings, horned owls, falcons, cormorants, long-tongued beach-combing birds, and followers of the sea. Very often you're going to have a listing like this. Around the smooth-walled cave a croaking vine held purple clusters under ply of green, and 4 springs bubbling up near one another, shallow and clear, took channels here and there through beds of violets and tender parsley. So more description of what it looks like, some purple in there, some streams in there, that kind of thing.